Let's get the crystal ball with Andrew Clennell. Andrew, a significant address and commitment by the Prime Minister later this week in Singapore.
One that you'll be attending, Kieran, an important strategic defence address and keynote speech this Friday from the PM at the Shangri-La Dialogue, Asia's premier defence summit in Singapore. Leaders from the ASEAN countries will attend, as well as defence leaders from around the world, including the US Defence Secretary Lloyd Austin. The PM will be discussing strategic competition in the region, which of course means the challenge created by the Chinese military build-up, Kieran.
And while we're on the Prime Minister's commitments, also an important one, and it comes at an important time around the debate for the voice to Parliament.
As I said at the top of the show, Anthony Albanese will give the Lowitja O'Donoghue address in Adelaide on Monday. It's not a sitting day. It's a public holiday in Canberra, so sittings start Tuesday. And I understand the speech will be given in a similar vein to his parliamentary speech this week, imploring Australians to vote for the Indigenous voice to Parliament later this year. Now, Lowitja O'Donoghue is a highly respected Indigenous leader who was foundation chair of ATSIC, which was abolished by the Howard government. Supporters of the voice are at pains to point out that ATSIC was a much more powerful body than the voice is proposed to be.
Andrew, the Labor Party had a very good result at the last by-election. Are they going to run a candidate in the next one in Fadden in Queensland?
I think so, but they've ummed and ahed about it. So the Administrative Committee of the Queensland Labor Party will meet this week to decide whether or not the party should put up a candidate in the seat of Fadden, vacated by former Minister Stuart Robert. It's a July 15 by-election. I predict Labor will run for the seat. The Liberal pre-selection will be decided on Saturday, and I'm tipping either local businesswoman Fran Ward or emergency doctor Dinesh Palapana will be successful there. Now, it was reported during the week that Anthony Albanese might be reluctant to run a candidate in Fadden after the retirement of Stuart Robert. I'm told it's likely Labor will run, despite the coalition holding it by 9.8%, and supporters of Albanese claim that the government has hesitated about running because it wants Peter Dutton to remain opposition leader, because Labor sees him as unelectable, and they don't see the benefit of wounding him further in the wake of the Aston by-election result, if there were a potential swing against him in a by-election again.
Andrew, let's just look. I want to finish the show by looking at these pictures. We've just seen these pictures come in via the government. This is the Trade Minister meeting with his Chinese counterpart, Wang Wentao. This is on the sidelines of the Trade Ministers meeting at the APEC summit in Detroit in the United States. The Chinese minister confirmed that Don Farrell's recent visit to Beijing was a direct effect on the removal of the tariffs on timber. And now it's understood the minister has encouraged Australia to submit all documents on the export of hay. Hay may be the next impediment to be removed. So more progress there, and you can quite clearly see a decent level of rapport between those two ministers, Andrew.
Making hay while the sun shines, Kieran. I think that the government is very focused on, sorry, I couldn't help myself, the wine ban in particular, the beef ban. So there are a few more things to occur. And I guess there's always a concern China's playing us a bit with these small little concessions. We want bigger concessions. I think Anthony Albanese is delaying his trip to China in the hope of bigger concessions, but I think that trip will occur this year without all sanctions coming off. Having said all that, it's a step in the right direction for our farmers and good news. But interesting juxtaposition about Anthony Albanese giving a defence address this week in Singapore about the dangers of China as well.
Indeed. And the avuncular Don Farrell looks like he's making some progress in his unique way. Andrew, great to see you as always. We'll see you tomorrow.